Somebody taught me a lesson the other day. Because names are difficult, so how do we get them right? I grew up with people getting my name wrong all the time, so I totally know how it feels. And recently we were doing introductions in my Accent Academy, and I just loved how someone corrected me on her name. So I wanted to use it as an example of what to do on both sides when we want to say your name right, or when you want to get someone else's name. So that way we're all more confident and comfortable speaking together. Because when I was little, I heard people address me as Bianca, Bianca, Banaka, Bianca, and often I would just let it go. I told myself I didn't care or that it didn't matter, but the truth is I was just a kid and I just wanted a normal name that everyone could pronounce, like Jennifer. So I get it when students say, oh, whatever you want to call me is fine. Or when they pick a name that's just easier for other people to say. Or maybe their alphabet or their phonetics aren't the same, so they already have to make compromises writing and speaking their names in English. Even people's names in their passports can be difficult because often they have to pick a spelling in English for their documents before they even know enough about how English pronunciation works, so then they're stuck with it. So, I saw the name of a new member the other day, and it was written E-H-S-A-N. And my first thought was, I wonder if this is an Arabic speaker, because I remember this as a man's name from when I was living in Jordan. And to my surprise, it was a woman, and the first thing I found out that I was getting that second vowel wrong. It's written as the letter A, so I was thinking it might be a or ah in English, because there's so many more vowel sounds in English. And in my head, it was Ihsan or Ihsan, which is how I first said it. But also I know some Arabic, and they have more of what I would consider a British A sound, where your tongue is in the middle, but it isn't so common in American English. So I said it that way, Ihsan. And even though I was sure I got it right, I'm glad I asked for confirmation. And I'm glad that she wasn't shy about letting me know. Because she wanted the second vowel pronounced more like eh. And for me, that's the eh as in scent or fence, esen, which I would probably spell with the letter E, but hey, it's not my name. And anyways, letter E can even be more tricky than to pronounce the letter A. And also, she said I wasn't putting enough aspiration on the H in her name. Ehsen. Even though I was saying my English H, it's lighter than in some other languages, and the friction is in a different place. So not only did that open up a great discussion about how H's are different in different languages, but I could also tell immediately that this new member had a good ear if she could even hear that difference. And you might think, whoa, that's a lot of time to spend on somebody's name. But you know what? You're important, and your name is important. And I think a lot of us are conditioned to believe that we can't correct other people, especially if there's like a power dynamic at play. But in my experience, that person is usually thankful when you take the time to tell them. It shows that you both want to make a genuine connection. And let's try to clarify this when we first meet, because sometimes it can be a little awkward to correct somebody if they've been saying your name wrong for a while and you kind of let it slide. But if you've corrected someone several times and they aren't changing their pronunciation, that could be an indication of something else. And even if not, there are so many spellings, so many languages, and so many names and preferences of pronunciation. I mean, we all have names and we all deserve to be addressed the way we want. And we can't assume that our name is easy for others or assume that it's the same as someone else's that you've already heard. But we can simply ask for correction or confirmation when we first say their name. And when you're introducing yourself, help them out by pointing out how many syllables there are, if there's a stressed one, and especially giving them other words that they probably already know that have the same vowels or consonants. For example, I've said this exact script 1,000 times and it works. I'll say, I'm Bianca, E-A-A. Bianca. It rhymes with Sri Lanka, the country. And ever since I've been doing that, there have been way fewer mistakes. Also, I feel better, and people remember my name more often. I know it takes time, but you're worth it. And I invite you to try it below. Write your name in the comments and write a little script about how we should say it in English. And if you need some help thinking about how to phrase it, why not ask my whole community for help? We have an international group of people who love talking about this kind of stuff. You could even take it a step further and send us a voice note of how to say it when you introduce yourself in the community. The link is right down in the description, so why not give us a try? And if sharing Esen's story has helped you, check out this next one about how Rami kept saying AS like ASS and what you can do about it. And in the meantime, we can see each other inside the community.